Hi everyone, welcome to Akshara Softwares. We are starting a new program on Java. This will be your first Java demo class. Once we begin our program, we will have our Java classes regularly. So before proceeding to the lecture, we will have my introduction. Myself, Nikhil. I have 5+ years of experience. 3 years I worked as a backend developer and 2 years I worked as a full stack developer. I have total 2+ years of experience as into training. I have been teaching full stack. I have worked with a couple of product-based companies, and I know the exact implementation of all these concepts in the industry. So I will be helping you to have the industry level experience while teaching. So why you need to choose Akshara Softwares? So first thing is this will have the best content in the market. Second thing is you will have the complete learning of uh, concepts. Apart from this, you will be implementing all the concepts practically. You will be having DSA problems, which is major for cracking interviews. So DSA stands for data structures and algorithms. Apart from this, we will have assignments post lectures. We will have weekly connects where doubts will be clarified. Also, you will have interview discussion and mock interviews. So this will be an added advantage which will remove the fear of attending interviews. So you will be used to the interview questions, and once you sit in the regular interview, you will be you'll feel easy to attend the interview. So after learning all these concepts, you will be doing actual project with all the concepts which you have learned in the course. So how this will help is, so this will help you to implement the concepts in an industry level application so that when an interviewer asks you the questions, you will feel ease to answer all the questions. So before going, we will have a brief introduction on what are we going to discuss throughout this course. So first thing is we will have a core Java session. So this core Java will be for 60 hours. You will receive 60 hours of training on these concepts. So this will be mainly oriented on dev and testing. So even testing people nowadays require core Java for their automation with Selenium. So most of the industry uses Selenium with Java for their testing purposes for automation. So this will be helping you to have this core Java in a clear way. So next thing we will be having advanced Java. So this advanced Java we will be having Spring Boot and Hibernate concepts. So apart from this advanced Java, JDBC, JPA, and other things, we will have Spring Boot and Hibernate. With this includes project work as well. So we will be having this for 75 hours. So altogether, you will be having one and a half, 2.5 months as a program for this Java. So once you complete the Java, you will be moving to your front end technology. So this front end development course includes HTML. Front end technologies include HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Apart from this, we also offer a framework to develop a front end application. So as of now, we are sticking to Angular, and in future we might introduce React. So this is for 35 hours of our training. So it might extend for another 10 hours because of the project work. So altogether it constitutes for 1.5 hour, 1.5 month. So this will be our course structure throughout the program. Now let us have our first Java session. So this will be our Java introduction. So as you all know, Java is the most widely used language. So what makes this so powerful that Java is still there even after its existence in the for 15 years in the industry. So Java provides best memory usage. So this makes it stand out of other languages, and still the applications are developed in the Java language. So apart from this, so it also have the may oops concepts. So even though oops concepts were introduced in C++, their memory usage was lacking in the C++. So this made the Java powerful languages. As you all know, there are 3 billion devices which runs on Java. So how 3 billion devices are running on Java? Starting from Nokia 1100, every mobile, every system, every laptop uses somewhere or the other Java program to implement some of its applications. So how did Java came into existence? What made it strong language? So we are going to discuss about all these things. So Java is a strongly typed language. What is strongly typed language? Strongly typed language is nothing but, so it will not allow you to write a program unless you follow certain rules. So what are certain rules? Certain rules are nothing but syntax. So if you are clear with syntax, if you write the syntax as per the rules, then only it will allow you to compile the program, run the program, and it will provide you the output. Apart from this, the structure of the Java made it stand out of the other languages. So Java is a structured language. So it is developed. We can learn the architecture now. So we are going to learn the architecture. So Java includes three parts majorly. So one is JVM. It is Java Virtual Machine. Next is JRE. It is Java Runtime Environment. At last comes JDK, that is Java Development Kit. So let me explain you what are these things with a simple story. Let me open a paint application. So let us say you all have visited a restaurant. So you are aware of the process what happens in the restaurant. So let's say this is you. Okay. So this is you, and you visit a restaurant basically. So this will be our restaurant. Let me increase the font size. Now, once you go to restaurant, what is the first thing you will have? So you will you'll be searching for a table, and you will be sitting on this. Now, what comes is a waiter will come to you. So a waiter will come to you and he takes the order. So once you order the dish from your menu, the next process what he does is he will go to a chef and gives the list of the order items which you have ordered. So what happens now? So chef will go to kitchen. So let me have a kitchen here. So this will be our kitchen, and chef will be there to cook. So waiter can't cook, right? So chef will be there. Waiter will come and gives the list of the items which you have ordered. So what chef does is chef will search for the items. So what he does is he will search for the items, basically ingredients which are present in the kitchen to cook. So once he finds all the ingredients, now he will light the stove. Now he will light the stove and he will start cooking, isn't it? So why I am explaining you the story is, so if you can relate this with the JVM, JRE and JDK, so this will be the simplest way to understand the Java architecture. So first let me explain you what are the terms and then I will relate the story to the Java terms. So what is Java Virtual Machine? So Java Virtual Machine is a virtual environment which will not be existing physically. So as the name suggests, virtual means which is not existing physically. What is Java, JVM responsible for? So this JVM is responsible for allocating resources to the Java so that it will compile and give the bytecode as output. So we will be discussing what is bytecode and compiling later. But it does something which is required as part of the Java execution. Okay. Now, what is JRE? So JRE, as we know, JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. So this will be having the packages which are required to execute our Java program. So even though JVM provides you the virtual machine, so this GRE goes and provides you certain set of rules which are present in their packages on how to execute the code and how to provide the output. Okay. So now you have JVM which will execute which will provide the resources, and GRE which provide the packages like which have the conditions to execute your code. Where do you write your code so that it goes to Java runtime environment and it executes your code? So that is where JDK comes into the picture. So JDK stands for Java Development Kit. So this is where we will write our Java code. It provides a development environment to write our program. Okay, so now you are aware of what are these things. Now let us understand by relating our story and what is this actually does, what is it doing in the Java, like that is what is it doing in the backend. So this story. So now assume you are going to a restaurant and you are sitting on the table. Now waiter comes, waiter takes your order, he will go to chef. So this chef is nothing but our this chef is nothing but our API which takes the calls and it goes to our kitchen. So what is API and all will come in the later part of the sessions. So now this kitchen. So what is this kitchen is? This kitchen is our JRE. So sorry, this kitchen is our JVM. And what are ingredients? So these ingredients are going to be our JRE. So it may look clumsy, but please bear with me. So next thing is this is a stove as we discussed. So what is the stove going to be is our so this stove is going to be our JDK. So why I have related all these terms? So now chef will come to the kitchen. So let us say chef is standing outside somewhere in the restaurant. So will he be able to deliver his actual task? So chef is to cook the food and serve to the people. So waiter takes care of the serving and chef takes care of the cooking. So if chef is standing in the restaurant without a kitchen, so will he be able to perform his duty? No, isn't it? So unless a kitchen is there, his chef is a useless guy. So now without a JVM, without a JVM, Java cannot deliver its 100% duties. So that is the reason we are having the kitchen as part of our setup. So JVM does the kitchen part. So okay, now chef enters into the kitchen. So after chef enters into the kitchen, without the ingredients, will he be able to cook will he be able to cook our dish? No. So ingredients are the main items which are required to cook the dish. So now, so let us relate these items to GRE. So GRE have the necessary packages which are to be kept in the kitchen so that kitchen will provide a place to store the ingredients and to cook the dish. Now you know what is a JVM. JVM is a kitchen and GRE are the ingredients to get the task done. Okay. So now we have JVM and JRE. Now let us move to stove part. So why I called stove as a JDK? So now you have ingredients, now you have kitchen. So without the stove, like without the gas and stove, will he be able to cook the ingredients and provide that as a dish? So now let's say you have ordered for a paneer butter masala. So now you have paneer, you have butter, and you have all the spices which are necessary to make the dish so special. So now you have all the ingredients. Now you have to put somewhere, you have to put all the ingredients somewhere, and you have to light that and you have to cook it. So then only chef will be able to deliver the output as a dish to the customer. So what is stove doing is we are actually putting all the ingredients. We are actually putting all the ingredients to make the dish get ready. So same thing, we are putting all our JDK, we are putting all our code in order to get it cooked and deliver it as an output to the customer. So now I guess you are clear with the story. So I'll repeat it once again. So we will have a glimpse of what is JVM, what is JRE, and what is JDK. So JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. So it is a place where it will provide the resources which are required for the computer to get the Java code executed in it. Okay. So once the Java virtual machine is ready, it needs certain rules to execute the Java code. So that is provided by GRE. So what is GRE? GRE is a Java runtime environment. Once the Java runtime in the Java runtime environment, there will be the packages, rules which are related to JVM, how JVM should function once it receives certain set of code. So from where it will receive the code, who will write the code? Here comes our part, that is JDK. So JDK is a place where it provides the development environment to write the code so that the customer writes the code on it and gets the output as he expected. So here the customer is we, as we write our code which we think, and it will be passed to the JVM and it will be cooked here and it will produce the output from the JVM. So that final output is what we expect. Okay, so this is our Java architecture. So this is a glimpse of Java architecture. It includes certain concepts as part of Java architecture to know, but this will be carried on in the later sections. So now we will be proceeding to uh, Java variables, data types, and constants. So as far as time permits, we will discuss and we'll be ending the today's session. Now let us start with the Java variables. So as you all know, as per the English term, Java variable means which varies. So how did this come into the picture in the Java? So not only in Java, in any of the language, in any of the programming languages, variable is a must present concept so that we can utilize it in the later parts of the program. So I will explain you what is variable. So as you know, variable means which varies. So as part of the variable, we will be storing the values which we might think that we need to use it in the later part of the program. So what does this mean? So we will have an example for this. So now you go to a grocery shop. In the grocery shop, let me open the paint. We will have a clear picture. So I'm going to erase everything. Okay. So now this is a grocery shop. Now you will go to buy some groceries from it. So you will be given once you buy all the things, you will be given a cover to carry. So if you go to DMart, they will charge 20 rupees for the cover. So after paying 20 rupees for the cover, do you think that to waste? Do you think that to throw it, or you wanted to say store it and use it for the next time? So obviously you wanted to store it for the next time, isn't it? So now, as part of the cover, you might have bought some uh, groceries. You have put the groceries in your cover, and you came to home. So now you are going to store it, and you will be using in the later parts. So this is the same functionality how it is going to get executed in the Java. So this cover is nothing but a variable. This cover is nothing but a variable. So this in this variable you can store you can store any value in it, and you can utilize this in the later parts of the program. So we can have an example for this. So now I will I will explain you what is the syntax of the variable. So how we will store our value. So as part of this we will be storing our value. So variable name is equals to data or value. Okay. So since I told that Java is a strongly typed language, Java will not accept any value directly like this. So now let us say I have a length. So we all know that length is measured as an integer type. So if this is in a dynamic language, so dynamic language as in Python, so Python will accept any of the any data in its variable. So let us say this as a Python. In Python, it is accepted because no need to specify data type as part of the syntax, and Python is strong enough to understand what is the type of the data which it has received. Whereas in Java, so that is a strongly or statically typed language, length is equals to 10 in Java will not is not accepted. Why? Because the makers of the Java always considered this as a wrong way, and this might lead to security issues. Security as in this can be misused in future whenever somebody uses this variable to change its data. So in order to safeguard this, the Java makers have come up with a concept called data types. So even though which this data type is existing in the earlier languages such as C and C++, so in Java we have to use the data type to specify the variable value. So what does this mean? Now As I told, it is not accepted. So, sir, then how it is accepted? So we have to specify like int length is equals to 10. Now this int is a data type, this length is a variable name, and this is a value. So I will convert this into syntax. Data type variable name is equals to value. So now you are clear that how we will define a variable name and how we will have our value assigned to a variable name. So now let us go and have a session on data types. Now, so what are data types? As the name suggests, these are the types which are used to store different type of data. So what does this mean? So as I told, we have several, we might expect several kinds of data to be present. So if you can think of, we have decimal, integer, real numbers. So as part of maths, we have all these things as a number types. So as part of programming also, we might expect these kind of uh, data types to be present, these kind of numbers to be coming as an input to the program. So somewhere or the other, we have these kind of numbers to be present as part of the application. So let us say we are developing an app, and like let us say we are developing a calculator which is used in restaurant, like for the billing purpose. So whenever whenever we are developing an application for the billing purpose, we might expect some of the data to be present in the decimal points. So how we are storing this data? How we are storing the integer types? So here comes the picture of data types. So let me explain you what are the data types in the Java. So in Java, we have major division as primitive data types and derived data types. So as part of today's lecture, we will be discussing primitive data types. So after this, we will be moving to derived data types in the later lectures. So what is primitive data type? Okay, I'm not able to highlight it, but yes, what are primitive data types? So primitive data types are nothing but which are derived as numeric and non-numeric data types. So this will also be called as intrinsic data types. I will also explain you what are derived data types, but we will be having clear lecture on this later. So these are derived data types, that is non-primitive. So what comes under this? Strings, arrays, classes, interfaces. So as part of today's discussion, we will be having primitive and non-primitive data types. So as you all know, as I told, numeric and non-numeric are the major derivation under primitive data types. So now what is numeric? So under this numeric data, we again have two kinds of division. One is integer and floating point. So now as part of our integer data, so let me put here So as part of integer data type, we again have four divisions under this: byte, short, int, and long. So let me first write what are the divisions and I will explain you each one with an example. Floating point, under floating point, we again have two divisions. One is float and one is double. So we have, why do we have these many divisions in the in these data types? So as I told earlier, Java provides a better memory usage when compared to the to its earlier languages. So that's why it is a strong language. So this is the reason. So I can explain you the difference, and now you can derive why Java provides better memory. So here, now let us say you go to a restaurant. Now you will have, let us say the restaurant have 50 dishes, and in future he might introduce 40 dishes. So this will be in the span of this new introduction of 40 dishes might be in span of next 10 years. So in order to store all these dishes IDs, we use data type to store IDs. So now I will explain you what is each data type and how I can relate to the story. So byte is the smallest memory occupier with 2 bytes. So this byte stores value from -128 to 127. So this we will be seeing practically. Okay. So now maybe let me open new class. So I will explain you what is class and what are the uh, what is its use. But as of now, we will see the practical implementation of the data types and we will proceed further. So now, as I told, byte. So uh, as we all know the syntax of declaration, so I have told here on how we need to declare a variable in the Java. So now let us put that here as a reference. So in order to make this in order to let me say I wanted to store a value of 5 in 5 in a variable. So how can I store value 5? Now byte being a smallest memory occupier, I will make the data type as a 5 byte, and I will provide a variable name as I am byte, and I will store the value of as 5 in the I am byte. So I am byte is a variable, small byte is a data type, and 5 is a value. Now let me copy this to the Java class and I will execute this program. So I'm using shortcuts, but I will teach all these things once we start our lectures. Since because of the time constraint, I'm teaching you fast, but once we start our lectures, it will be slow. I am byte and I am printing I am byte variable. So here as you can see, this color is blue, this is in black, and this is again in blue. So what does this mean? So this color difference is to differentiate between the data type, variable name, and its value. Okay, so we will discuss all these settings once we start our session on what are IDs and all. So as of now, I am sticking to the today's concept, that is data types and variables. Now I will be executing this code, and let us see what comes as an output. Sorry, there was some problem which because of I stored. So let me execute it again. Yes. As you can see here, now this part I am byte is what I have given here as part of the print statement, and whatever the value, see I did not give the 5 as to this print statement. Instead I have given my variable name to the print statement. So whatever is the variable present in this variable, it has printed. So now let me change this variable to 127 and see what happens. So see, I am byte and the value is 127. Whatever the value I have changed here, that is getting printed in the console log. So, so you told it byte stores minus 128 to 127. So what does this mean? So every data type has a range in order to store in the data type, because of the memory constraints. So now let me explain. So as part now, let's say I wanted to store 1000, or I wanted to store 1128 as part of the byte. So see, let us see what happens now. So I will change this. I will increment this 127 plus 1, and you see what happens here. So see, it is throwing error. And now if I hover on this, see the message what it says. So required type is byte and provided in it int. So what does this mean? So byte stores only data from minus 128 to 127. This is its minimum to maximum range. If in case If in case we wanted to store some large number other than this, now let's say I wanted to store 1000. So if I wanted to store 1000, now here comes the picture of the short. So why we have so many data types? So it is all because, I'm sorry. So here the memory usage will be 1 byte. Okay. So short, it will occupy 2 bytes of space. And what is the range it stores? It stores from minus 32 768 to 32 767. Okay, so these data types are to differentiate the memory usage so that it will have the best memory consumption when you write a program. So you have, that's the reason why you need to know all these data types when you write a program. You will be able to write a program with best memory usage. Okay, so now as I was discussing this short data type, short stores all the values from 32,768 to 32,767. Okay, so this is its max range. And now let us have the similar example of how we have written in this execution. Now let me declare a variable. I am short is equals to, now let's say I wanted to store 1000. So uh, when I wanted to store 128, it threw an error, right? So it says byte provided int. Now let me change this back to 127 and let me store 128. So you see there is no error popping out here because this 128 lies in the range of -32768 to 32767. So now let us run this and we'll see what happens here. So again I am giving a string, I am short, and I am giving a variable, I am short. Okay. So now let us run the program and see what happens here. So see, I am byte remains same because I have given the value as 127 and I have given the value as 128. So now, as you all know, what is the um, range of this short? Now let me try one negative number to store this value in this variable and let me try to print it. So now, as you see, I have given, sorry, there should not be a comma. Okay, now I have given the max range as -3 to 768, and now I will run this program once again. So now you see the range got printed. That means the value which is present in the variable is printed. So now let me let me change one digit here and let us see what happens now. Okay, as soon as I change the 8 to number 9, that means I am just changing a digit in the in this number, and the moment I change you can see the difference, you can see the error that the required type is short and provided int. Okay, so now what makes it difference is, so it says, but it says nothing that you have a range of this, but you have crossed your range and you have gone out of the range. So go for the next range of data type. So now, as you see the difference, if I give 127, it has accepted. But the moment I changed it to 128, it did not accept. So similar thing with this. Now the moment I gave 32768, it has accepted. But when I changed to 32769, it gave error that you have to use integer data type. So based on the based on our requirement, we have to choose our data type sharply. Okay, now let us move to integer data type. Sorry, that is int. Okay, so what is int? Int takes 4 bytes of space. So what is 4 bytes of spaces? Why it takes 4 bytes is because it has a range from -2147 483 648 to 2147 483 647. No need to memorize these values, but you have to remember approximate range so that you can use your data type in a wise way. So now let us say, like, if you have some thousands of numbers to store. Okay, now let's say I have some a number of pages in the book, and I have to store the number of pages each. What is the content in each page? So now what I will do? Will I be going for a so will 1000 fit in the byte range? No, correct. So 1000 fits in the short range. So that's how you need to make a difference between these ranges, and you need to choose your data type. Okay. So now let's move to our discussion. We are discussing int. Now in int type we have 4 bytes of space. So for every int variable, whatever you declare, you are allocating 4 bytes of space uh, to your variable. Okay, so your variable occupies 4 bytes of space in your memory. So now let us see what is int in the practical way. Okay, now I, wa- I wanted to declare a variable which is of int type. Now I am declaring this as a I am integer. I am integer is a variable name, and now I wanted to store the same value, that is minus 32768. So see, there is no error. But now once again I will try to print it. I am int. Okay. I am integer. So now let me try to print the variable. So see, now the same value which is present in I am integer got printed. Okay. Now, as you know that whenever I changed this to 9, you saw that error that the required type is short and provided is int. So now let me try to print the variable with value of minus 32769. So as you see the difference, there is a when I changed from 8 to 9, there is no error. Why? Why? Because this value minus 32769 is in the range of this large number. Okay, so that's the reason it is accepting, and it will allow us to print the value which is present in the variable. So now see, minus 32769 is the value which is present in I am integer, and it has printed this value on the console. Okay, clear? Okay, so now let us move on to the next data type which we have as part of the integer type of data types. We have covered byte, short, and int. Now we will be discussing long, and we will be ending our session. So before ending discussion, we had a story to discuss. Okay, so we will discuss the story and we'll be ending the session. Now what is long? Long takes 8 bytes of space. See the difference between byte and long. So it is taking 7 bytes extra from long to byte. Okay, so but here the range of the long is from minus 922372036854775 808. Okay, so since it's being a long number, I'll just copy this, and I will paste this. Okay, 7. Hmm. Now, okay, now we didn't check the with the last number for the integer type. Now let us check what is the last number, and we will try to move on to the long practical execution. So now let me run with the value of this one. Okay, so since commas are not allowed, I'll be removing all the commas. See, now I am integer. This int data type is able to store this huge value in this I am integer variable. Okay, now let me run once again, and you see the output. As you see here, the value is, as I have given the value, it is printed on the console. Now we have to change this value, increment it by 1. So see the magic, what it happens. The moment I change, it says integer number too large. So earlier it had told that change to int type. Okay, so earlier it has changed to it showed that provided is integer, but now it did not tell that you have to change to int, but integer number is too large. Okay, why? Because these two can be categorized, these two will be supported as part of the int. Okay, if some value comes more than the given range, now it can be converted to int. Okay, So now if the value is if the if data type itself is large, what we need to do? So here comes the picture of the long. Okay, now I am changing this value back to 8. Okay, I'll redo this. So now let me declare a variable with long data type. I am long is equals to. Now let me copy this and paste it here. Okay, so now what it says is integer number is too large. So what you need to do here? So even though you see this number is lying in the range of the long. Okay, so long number is such a big number, such a large number, but why is it not allowing you to store this number? It is because it has certain number of digits which has to be present as part of this in order to store this value in the I am long variable with the long data type. What does this mean? So let me add some zeros to it, okay, until this error disappears. So what this says is, okay, or why I am adding zeros is, so in order to convert this number to long data type, okay, we need to append this with L, okay. So then it will be accepted as a long data type and it will be stored in I am long variable. Okay. Why do we need to add ls as part of the long syntax? L is a mandatory thing to be written at the end of the integer so that this whatever the numbers which are present before L are considered as a long data type. Okay. Now let me try to print I am long. I am long. So see the thing what happens now is, so even though we have written 21478 something and L, now when I print this one, the L will not be part of this value. Okay. So let us see this in practice. So see what happened here. Even though L is present at the end, it did not print L. Why? Because L is part of a syntax. Okay. So once we write a long syntax, we have to definitely append it with L. Okay. At the end, as part of the suffix, we have to provide L so that the Java will understand this is a long variable and assign it to the variable with long data type. Okay, clear? So now let us say, let me tell you if I wanted to store this huge number of data. So there you see, it will take some time to understand what are these numbers. But still, I'll just try to print it in order to show you. Okay. So even this is not allowing. Let me reduce it by 1. Okay, I guess I have added some number in between. Okay, but yes. So you see, right? So if we go to the max range, if we go out of the max range, it says long number too large. Okay. So now let me try to execute this one, and we see this as an output. Okay. So let us go back to our story. So with this, we will end our lecture. So why I was telling you this story. So now you have a requirement. Okay. Now you have a requirement to write a program so that this restaurant will take care of the odd dishes which are present in the menu, and it will be build. Okay, so that means whenever somebody orders it and when somebody comes to the billing, it will automatically take that ID and puts in the bill. Okay, so if this is our requirement, so what should we do? So should we go and choose for the long data type, or which has the maximum storage, or should we go and go for the shortest data type? So here you can see the clear difference, right? So you have 50 dishes and you wanted to you wanted to expand it to 40 dishes in the next 10 years. So why do you need your memory to be wasted? As you see, 50 plus 40 will be 90, and 90 will be fit in this range, correct? So now you will declare. Now you will. I'll tell you what is declaration. Okay, but as of now I will have my variable as byte id is equals to 90. Okay, so this will satisfy my requirement. Okay, now let me tell you another example. Now you wanted to store India's population. Okay, do you think, what do you think? Do you need to go for a byte data type, or do you need to go for a long data type? What is India's population, by the way? So as we all know, we are now the most populated nation in the world. So we are standing at 130 CR. Okay. So now, in order to store 130 crore numbers, so let's say I wanted to give the ID to each and every person who is present in the Indian nation. Okay. So what do you think? Which data type should I choose so that I will allocate all of my population with an ID? So do you think that byte will satisfy the requirement? So let me convert the CR into zeros. Okay. So being bad at math, but I know that there will be seven zeros. Okay. I have given 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So now you see this is the value of 130 crores. So will this 130 crores fit in the byte data type? No, isn't it? So there is a clear difference that it will not fit. And if you declare a variable that is id is equals to this 1300 and so on. So and if you keep this byte, so what this will do, what Java will do? Java will kick out. Okay, Java will kick out that I am not the supported one and number is too large. Okay, so now which data will fit here? Which what is the range that will fit here? So as you can see now, will short fit? No, isn't it? Short's range is too small. Now as you see, there is a this range is in whatever the 1 lakh 1 crore 1 crore sorry 130 crores fits in the range of integer. Okay, so now what you need to do is I will declare my id as int data type. Okay, so based on the requirement, you should be wise enough to choose what data type fits your requirement, and accordingly you have to make changes in the program. You have to take your variables with the respective data type. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this. So I will be taking all of your lectures for Java and Angular. Okay, I guess you are clear. So we will have more fun, more discussions once we start our program. So I hope you all join, and we'll see in the direct classes once the batch begins. Okay. I wish you all the best. Have a good day. Take care. Thank you for attending the session. I wish you a happy learning. Thank you so much. Bye.